welcome to the Charlington Press Late Night Show. Today we will have a special guest, Emperor Nicholas of Senland. Thank you for joining us today, Emperor.
Hello, everyone.
So, to start off the interview, I would like to say that this is a great honor having, I dare say, the most popular micronational assembly YouTuber here with us tonight. Now, let's start with
Hold on, let me put it on. Sorry.
With the creation of this
All right.
channel, do you believe that the Charlington Press is a good alternative while Senland's channel is in a state of inactivity?
Yeah, I think that the Charlington Press is a very good channel because it informs micronational leaders and
So, looking at other micronations,
yeah.
would you say that Edonia and Senland are the most agriculturally advanced?
Will, can you? I'm sorry. Try and speak a little louder, please.
But do you believe that Senland could not only improve its agriculture but start its industry as well?
We can expand the industry, or what? Because I put headphones in, I still can't. I'm sorry.
Oh, do you believe that you will be able to improve Senland's agriculture and possibly start an industrial sector?
Yeah, I definitely think that we will be able to culture. It's an important part to building up. I mean, look at World War II Germany. I mean, Hitler obviously did some bad things, but he brought Germany to a superpower. I mean, he improved all the factories. He made everyone happy. They were producing a lot of consumer goods, and the economy was going, and they were producing a lot of stuff that the people needed, and a lot of stuff that people from other countries needed, and they were exporting all sorts of things, and that's how Germany became a superpower and managed to do all that they had accomplished.
Right. And that's a very good point, because the greatest thing any of us can do, especially not just micronations, but like the U.S., the UK, and France, is that we must learn from the past. But yes, do you think that the micronational confederacy is beneficial to the MA, or is it too soon to tell?
I guess the micronational confederacy it really is made to have nothing to do with the MA. It's more of a EU sort of thing, but we all have separate economies. We don't really merge. Um, it could be beneficial if is that it operates as a separate organization of nations. That the only thing is that the nations who are in the AA created the Jonas Port. A couple other nations.
So to change the subject a little bit, what do you think about the book that is being written in Francia?
Hello, Will.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I mean, if you have a microphone, can you at least, or can you put it up a little bit closer?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Let me fix this. Right.
Thank you. Oh yeah, that's much better.
Yeah. So what do you think about the book that is being written in Francia?
Um, is written so far, I think will be a very great series, and if it does happen to be published in a legitimate story that is then people will be interested in it, and they will learn more about internationalism, know more about us. But I mean,
Right. Um. So you actually kind of
I'm
answered the next question already. That do you think
it's about
if
siege
published,
battle.
this book could bring the publicity that the Micronational Assembly deserves?
Yeah, it would because I mean, National Assembly. There's a lot of bullshit that happens a lot, but I do think that if more people know about it, we will become, which is a good thing. I mean, it's not really whether we're liked; it's more whether we people know what's going on and they know who we
Right. Um. So
are. I mean, even the greatest dictators, everyone knows them. They don't have to like it, but everyone knows them.
mhm,
Hitler, Joseph Stalin, Genghis Khan, these guys.
right. Um. So if it is published, would you recommend it to the people of Senland, or to a greater extent make it required to be taught in Senish schools?
I feel like it would be it should be only be required to taught not from a historical aspect, but
Mm,
because it's not actually happening. But it should be taught as a part of literature because people will know more about micronationalism in Finland. I mean, they already know what's going on, but it will help them have a better understanding because physically I cannot take in all the news from the MA and just deliver it all the time to the people. I mean, I have to keep some things secrets. I mean, all
mm.
every government has to.
So moving on to that, do you feel like the Charlington Press is moving in the right direction by using news from the Micronational Assembly um, and transferring it to our viewers, primarily the people of Gradonia?
Um, Charlington Press is, and I mean they're doing a better job than I am informing the people. Um, the Charlington Press is informing the people of Fredonia, and as I said earlier, it's important to be informed so that they're aware of everything. So in case something bad happens, everyone's prepared. Because I mean, then say you get invaded, and the Charlington Press never said anything, so no one would expect it, and then boom, there's no one to help at least defend what's going or defend Gradonia. So I mean, it is good that you are taking news from the MA and feeding it to people.
Right. Thank you. Uh, and uh, for more Senland oriented questions, do you believe that Senland um, is, um, I won't necessarily say in the mood, but in the position uh, to expand its territories, or perhaps military?
Um, As of now, we are working on our military and industry. There's really no need to expand the borders as of now because we haven't even industrialized the entire landscape that we have. I mean, I have the peppers right here next to me. I need to put them outside soon. But yeah, that's part of our agricultural industry, and we're going to need a foundry. I mean, there's really no point in trying to get more land if you haven't already done something with what you've had.
Right. Um, so
That's yeah.
speaking of the peppers, um, can you tell us what other agriculture that Finland prides itself of?
I actually am planning to grow vanilla next year for an export. Um, this year we're actually closing off the market for peppers. We'll be selling them locally because it's just easier and it's more trustworthy.
Right.
In future years, I will start begin selling them to members of the MA for to to give it a little bit more national or international feeling. But yeah, as of now, we really have to stick to local because it is kind of hard to mail peppers. I mean, I understand that you can do it, but yeah,
Hmm.
it's a little bit difficult. Yeah, and so I was thinking vanilla. Next year, I'm thinking maybe have different types of peppers, so more variety, and then possibly we might be well, we're growing corn right now too. Um, we'll grow more corn next year as well.
Yes. Uh, so, are there any in Finland? Are there any political issues, much like what we have been seeing in the United States, um, with uh, family border separations? Not necessarily the exact same situations, but just political
Yeah,
strain within
just
Finland.
political issues.
Yes.
Yeah. Um, yeah, right now there's not really any political. There are no political issues as that there is only one party, and that is the royal party, which is what the Kaiser I run. I'm actually joined here today by my or by our general of the army, or one of the generals of the Finnish army. This is Dawson Mills.
Oh, hello.
But yeah, yeah. So basically, um, like I said, there's no political issues because honestly, there's not enough people in Senland for there to be a whole lot of political parties and political issues. Everyone seems very satisfied with the current ruling and how the country's going right now.
Right. Um. So, uh, do you believe that that Gredonia and Finland have already signed a non-aggression pact? Do you believe that
Hmm.
um, any other diplomatic ties could go further?
Yeah, I do believe that diplomacy with Gradonia could definitely certainly expand. I mean, we could. I mean, there's always opportunities for military alliance, economics, um, political efforts, and trade. I mean, we could do all sorts of things. I mean, the nations of today that are recognized do it, so why can't we?
Right. Right. Um. So I've asked this in the other interviews, but why do you um, believe that intermicronational alliances, like actual communities on the Google Plus platform, don't really turn out like as we have seen with the CRA and the American Organization of Fascists?
Yeah. So, um, I guess the question is, why do I think that they don't work out?
Yes.
All right. All right. So, I guess I just it's kind of hard for something like that to work out because not everyone wants to point in that direction. So, I mean, and it is online too. So it is, and a lot of the times, no one really has they don't have a campaign for it. Like, when you run states, you have to have a campaign to run. And
Hmm.
so I guess no one ever does anything. They just say, hey, I just formed this out of nowhere because I think it's going to work. And people join. But honestly, the MA is unfortunately full. I mean, there are some people like you and I that take it very seriously, but there are a lot of people who believe that it's somewhat of a game that they can just have fun. It's not going to matter if they
Yeah.
fuck up or anything.
And
Um, so so they just want to change their mind because they just want to have fun. They're like, oh yeah, fascism isn't fun anymore, so I'm going to switch to, whatever the hell. I mean, I'm not going to be pointing any fingers, but there are some nations that definitely have a lot of political strains. They have civil wars all the time. I
Mhm.
mean, I see this stuff. I've seen this stuff in the last year that I've been in the MA. I mean, it was all right. The MA was all right for a while, and then it was going up, and then it hit its peak, and then it's just been going down for a while. I mean, I personally, as the owner of it now, I've been trying my best to improve the MA, but there are a lot of people to manage, and not all the time can I prevent a civil war from happening in this country, or a political strain in this other area. I mean, it's just some people do take it as a game, honestly.
Yeah, and I mean, uh, and we see this a lot um, with meme micronations and inactives
Yes.
and role plays. And so, also on that topic, did you um, approve of Savikulan's great purge of the MA of all inactive roleplay and meme micronations?
I mean, yeah, I was very satisfied with that because, I mean, I helped out a little bit too, because I mean, it doesn't always seem like it. I don't post it really that much anymore because there's not a whole lot to post about. But it just had to be done. There was too many role players, people who just they didn't care about it. They just wanted to have fun, and troll at others, which is an inappropriate thing to do in a serious organization. I mean, you don't see people pulling out memes during UN meetings or anything. So I do think that it was a very good idea, and I am very satisfied with the results. We are trying right now. The council as a whole is trying to make sure that we watch everyone who requests to join and make sure that they are not role play or meme micronations.
Right. So speaking of the council, since the elections are coming up this fall, Gradonia has taken an interest in running for a position. Um, do you believe that that Gradonia would provide a beneficial and more serious stance for the MA?
Um, Given the circumstance that Gordoni is a very serious micronation, I do think that they would do some good being on the council. I mean, you'd have to you'd have to run a campaign first. It's just to see why you should be a council member. But I would totally vote for you. We in Senland, we would all vote for Gordoni on the council. That would be, I personally believe that that would be an amazing decision for, or not a decision, but a very extraordinary and um, historical event for Granoni to be on the council because, as I said a minute ago, you are the one of the most serious micronations, and so having you there would bring a part of a new mood, and just it would improve the micronational assembly as a whole.
Right. And thank you, but I mean, this isn't supposed to be part of like the campaign. I'm just like personally asking um of you of your opinion um because
Yeah.
because from what I've seen, if you do remember a while back, the return of Reich Bottom um, was
Yes.
very influential in Gradonia's stance of meme and roleplay micronations. Um,
Mm.
and so we do believe that this is an actual scourge. This is a disease that we must deal with. Um,
Yes, it is. I mean, especially I can definitely feel for you why you would dislike it. I mean, you were one of the targets of Reich Bottom. I mean, that obviously, it doesn't mean it's or anything.
yeah. Um, but thank you for joining us tonight, Kaiser. And we hope to see you on your channel on YouTube soon. Um, but now a word from our
Yeah.
sponsor. Um, RMT Industries is a Worcester-based company that buys, puts together, and sells airsoft armor and apparel for all your micronational needs. All apparel suits are customizable for price and style. If you're interested in purchasing a suit, contact Worcester at Google Hangouts. But thank you for watching, and good night.